Welcome to Mike Ferry TV. It's the week of July 11th. Okay, we have about a week to go until we get to the Superstar Retreat. I hope you're going to attend. Love to see you there. What I want to do today is take and spend a little time, most of my time, working with you on this incredible belief that each of you have to develop within yourself on the importance of becoming a great listing agent. I'm not exactly sure why, and I wish I could explain it to you. So many agents just don't understand the value of listing property. So what I want to do first is say this to you. I wrote down the number one advantage of being a great listing agent is the fact that you can control your time, maybe for the very first time. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, as a lot of you know, working with buyers, which is what most agents do all the time, you never really have the control of your time because you're going to show property, A, when the buyer is available, B, when the property is available, and many times C, when the other agent is available to open the property, to get it prepared, etc. So you have so many forces working against you working with buyers, besides the fact that buyers are buying from a very highly emotional standpoint and sellers list from a very logical standpoint. So what happens is the more the emotions are involved in the transaction, the more time it takes. The less emotions involved, the more logical, the less time it takes. So the advantage that all the good listing agents have is they can control their time at a much higher level than almost any other agent. Now, we look at all these different crazy stats, and those stats that come out and say things like 90% of the listings are taken by 10% of the agents. Well, that means that 90% of the agents are working for the 10% who are list property. Or in essence, the 10% who are listing property, and I want that to be you, are in control of your schedule, in control of your time, and have the opportunity to have the rest of the world work for you all the time, which you've heard me say time and time again. So what I want you to think about is this. Would you like to control your time at a higher level? Would you like to control your time more effectively? Would you like to be more efficient with your time? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then the number one advantage of being a great listing agent is the control of your time. Then I wrote down a second thought. One of the hard parts of becoming a great listing agent is the commitment you have to make to both the listing price and the commission that you're going to charge for listing that property. Okay? What commitment are you willing to make to price? Now, we know that we have had several years of a very, very good market throughout North America. Prices have been going up, or actually just coming back to where they were in 2004, 2005, 2006. So we've seen prices rise. We've seen multiple offers. We've seen multiple offers time and time again. We're seeing people that say the property should be listed at $295, the agent listed at $325. There's three offers. Nobody understands how it happens, but it happens. Well, what we have to understand is before you go on a listing, you got to commit in your mind to a price that you're going to go for, knowing the seller's going to want more. Why? Because even with the market we have today, there's still incredible amounts of expired listings. I got a phone call 2 weeks ago, and it was from one of our clients, and a client said, Mike, you're not going to believe this. We had 477 expireds come out in the last 2 days in our marketplace. And he started calling them all for the next 3 days, set up 7 appointments with expired listings. Well, price is always the issue. Now, in addition to price, the commitment to the commission. Are you committed to getting the commission that you deserve for the work that you do? So I wrote down this thought. Does the seller see value in what you're going to do? Do they see value? If they see value, then of course they will pay the commission that is asked for by you. If, if they don't see value, they of course will not want to pay that commission. The commission and the value go hand in hand. The higher the value, the more you charge. The less the value, the less you charge. Okay? I wrote down a couple thoughts here. I want you to listen. When they question the money, they don't believe you. When they question the money being the price or the commission, what they're saying is we don't believe what you're saying to be true. And then I said when they question your commission, they don't see any value in what you're doing. Why do you walk into a store, which everybody does, and try to negotiate a price? on whatever that product or service is because we don't see the value. But why at other times do you walk into a store and say, I want that, and you'll pay for it because you see the value in that particular item. So we have to really think about this whole concept of how do we make this transformation. How do we transfer our energy into becoming a good listing agent? So the last thing I wrote down for today, and you can see I'm fighting a little bit of laryngitis today, so it's a little bit shorter message. I'm trying to save my voice for the retreat next week. I wrote down the schedule of a great listing agent. What do these people do all day? And basically their schedule comes down to 5 parts. Their schedule revolves around role play and practice because they're always practicing and role playing to make sure that the pre-qualifying questions are comfortably asked, the presentation material is smooth. Second, of course, is lead generation. As much as we don't want to talk about it, we have to talk about the fact listing agents are involved in lead generation / prospecting. Third, of course, is sometime usually either right before lunch or right after lunch, they're involved in the administration of their transactions. Listing agents have more transactions than people that show property. Therefore, they have to spend more time in administration of their transactions. Then next portion of their day is the preparation for the appointments they go on. They have to be preparing because the pre-listing package, the CMA, the net sheets, the contracts, doing the preparation so when they walk in, bang, they're prepared. And then, of course, the last part of their day is presentation time. And that is the fact they've set aside time every day. Now, here's what I want you to think about. What if you took a look at your schedule and you said to yourself, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you pick a time, let's say 4 o'clock, and you wrote down a 4 o'clock each day listing presentation. That's all you wrote, listing presentation, 4 o'clock, 5 days in a row. And then your job was to fill in a name of a person that you could present to at that time. Could you find somebody to present to? I'm willing to bet that if you had to find somebody to list, you could. Why do we not go on more listing presentations? We don't have a schedule. We're not committed. We don't know how to do what it takes to get a listing taken care of. But the biggest thing is we don't have a schedule that gets us into that thinking about listing property. Great listing agents have on their schedule certain times they're going to make listing presentations. Their job is to spend the entire day finding a person. Because you know and I know, if you had to find a person to go ahead and list today, you could find a person. Or let's take the other side of that. You're going to work 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day in the office, in your home office, driving around, on your computer, etc. What are you doing with that time? Great listing agents are using that time to prepare, to be involved in lead generation, to role play and practice, to make sure their transactions are smooth, and then, of course, to go on presentations. See, my belief is this. The only reason why we don't list property is either we don't know how to, and I believe you can learn how to, or we don't want to. And if you don't want to, I can't help you. I'm not Dr. Phil. But if you want to, we can help you become a great listing agent by following the advice that we teach all the time. Now, at the same time, if you'd like to come to the Superstar Retreat, it's certainly not too late. We're going to have over 4,000 people in attendance. It's going to be one of our better crowds because we're going to spend the entire time on how do we become a listing superstar. And that's what we want. That's what you want. Let's do it together. I'll look forward to talking to you in the next week or so. Have a great day.